We shall see. Okay, let's start. Bringing our hands together at heart center, and we'll do call and response. We'll start with an Om and then call and response. Deep inhale. Vande Guranam, Vande Guranam, Charanara Vende, Charanara Vende, Sandara Shrita, Sandara Shrita, Suatma Sukhava Bodhe, Suatma Sukhava Bodhe, Nishriyase, Nishriyase, Jangalika Yamane, Jangalika Yamane, Sun Sal A, Sun Sal A, Moha Shantiye, Moha Shantiye, Abahu Purushakaram, Abahu Purushakaram, Shantachakarasi Darinam, Shantachakarasi Darinam, Sahasra, Sahasra, Shiraswam Shwetam, Shiraswam Shwetam, Pranamami Patanjalim, Pranamami Patanjalim. All together. Thumb knuckles to the third eye. Good job, everyone. Inhale, reach up towards the sun. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step back to plank. Option to take a vinyasa. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. And once we get to down dog, holding for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Rise to the tops of the toes, bend the knees, make your way towards your hands. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise and reach towards the sun. Exhale, palms to the side, Samasthiti. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step back to plank. Option to take a vinyasa. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. Once you get to down dog, holding for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Rise to the tops of the toes, bend the knees, make your way towards your hands. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise and reach towards the sun. Exhale, palms to the side, Samasthiti. We'll only do 3 Surya Namaskar A's today. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. So last one. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step back to plank. Option to take a vinyasa. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. Holding in down dog for 1, 2, really focusing on finding length in the spine. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, rise to the tops of the toes, bend the knees, make your way towards your hands. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise and reach towards the sun. Exhale, hands to the side, Samasthiti. Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step back to plank. Option to take a vinyasa. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. Once we get to down dog, stepping through on the right foot for warrior 1. Inhale as you reach up. Exhale as your hands come back down to the mat. Stepping back to plank. Option to vinyasa. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. Once we get to down dog, stepping through on the left foot. Inhale as you reach up towards the sun. Exhale as your hands come back down to the earth, stepping back to plank, option to vinyasa, and then we'll meet in downward facing dog for 5 breaths. Holding for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Rise to the tops of the toes, bend the knees, make your way towards your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift to chair. And exhale, stand tall, Samasthiti here. One more time, Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step back to plank. Option to vinyasa. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. Once we get to down dog, stepping through on the right foot for warrior 1. Inhale as you reach up towards the sun. Exhale as your hands come back down to the earth. Stepping back to plank. Option to vinyasa. And we'll meet in down dog. Once you get to down dog, stepping through on the left foot. Inhale as you reach up for warrior 1. Exhale as your hands come back down to the earth. Stepping back to plank. Option to vinyasa. And we'll meet in downward facing dog for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Rise to the tops of the toes, bend the knees, make your way towards your hands. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift to chair. And exhale, stand tall, Samasthiti. How do we feel? Nice and warm, good. That's the point of it, so we're there. Okay, place the hands on the waist and then heel toe the feet about hip width distance apart. Roll the shoulder blades down the spine to open up the chest. Inhale. Exhale, start to fold forward. Holding the big toes with the 2 peace fingers, bend in the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, elbows bend out to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, halfway lift. Slide the hands underneath the feet so that the toes reach towards the wrist for a wrist stretch. And fold, elbows out to the side. 1, 2, really breathing into the back body. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, halfway lift. Place the hands on the waist, rise completely, and step together, Samasthiti. Maybe grabbing a block for the next one, Trikonasana, or triangle pose. And we'll step the right foot towards the back. Place a block on the outside of the right foot. Tee out the arms, really push that left hip towards the front wall. Reach the right fingertips forward. Place the right hand on the block. Left arm reaches up towards the sun. Maybe gaze towards the left fingertips. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Start to come up. Pivot on the heels. Block on the outside of that left foot. Tee out the arms. Really push the right hip towards the back. Reach the left fingertips forward. Left hand on the block. Right arm reaches up. Maybe gaze towards the right fingertips. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Start to come up. Pivot on the heels. Face both toes towards the back wall. Place a block on the outside of the right foot. Tee out the arms. Start to twist towards the right. Left hand on the block. Right arm reaches up. Maybe gaze towards the right fingertips. 1, 2, 3, 4, And 5. Start to come up, pivot on the heels. Placing a block on the outside of the left foot. Tee out the arms, start to twist towards the left. Right hand on the block. Left fingertips reach up towards the sun, maybe gaze towards the left fingertips. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lower down, tee the arms out to the side, and then step towards the top of the mat, Samastitihi. Next one is side angle, so stepping back again on the right foot. Stepping back wider, we're going to bend the right knee, maybe place a block on the outside of the right foot. Press your hand into the block or into the earth. Left arm reaches up and over the ear. Really ground into the outside edge of that left foot, opening up the left hip, both hips facing towards the side. 1, maybe the gaze reaches up towards the sun. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Start to come up, pivot on the heels. Place a block on the outside of the left foot. Left hand reaches towards the block. Right arm reaches up and over. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Start to come up. Pivot on the heels, both toes face towards the back. And then maybe we start to come into a low lunge, bringing our hands to prayer pose, and then the left elbow on the right knee for a twist. Maybe you start to tuck that left toe, lifting the left leg off the mat for a twisted crescent lunge. Or maybe you bring that left foot into a warrior 1 stance. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Start to stand and pivot on the heels, finding whichever twist suited you on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Start to come up. Tee the arms out to the side, then step towards the top of the mat, Samastitihi. How are we feeling? Good. Good. And then step the right foot towards the back, both toes facing towards the right. Place the hands on the waist. Inhale, roll the shoulder blades down the spine, open up the chest. Exhale, start to fold forward, reach towards the earth. Maybe a slight bend in the knees here. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, walk the hands so that they're in between the feet. Bend in the knees, let the head hang. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, halfway lift. Place the hands on the waist and rise completely. Tee the arms out to the side, then bring them back to the hips. Inhale, open up the chest, open up the heart. Exhale, fold forward, keep the hands right where they are. Get soft in the knees, 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, start to come up. Tee the arms out to the side, then interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale, open up the heart. Exhale, start to fold forward, arms up over the head. 1. Katie, do you want this one? 2. You're going to touch the floor soon. 3. Yeah. 4. And 5. Start to come up. I was like, I should tell her that before that happens because she might freak out if she touches the ground. And then place your hands on the waist again. Inhale, open up the chest. Exhale, start to fold forward, get soft in the knees. Interlace the fingers around the big toes. Halfway lift, and then fold forward, elbows bend out to the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, halfway lift, place the hands on the waist, rise completely, and then step towards the top of the mat, Samasthiti. And then for the next one, we can bring our hands into 2/5, grab hold of opposite elbows, or start to move into reverse prayer. And we'll step the right foot towards the back, about 3 feet in between the feet. Inhale, open up the chest. Exhale, start to fold forward over the right leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Start to come up. And then pivot on the heels. Inhale, open up the chest, open up the heart. Exhale, fold forward over the left leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Start to come up and then step towards the top of the mat, Samasthiti. Next one is balancing poses, so we can use a strap around the ball of the foot, we can use the wall, or we can keep the leg bent, whatever starts to feel better for you, but we'll bring the right knee in towards the chest. That was probably a broom or something falling. Probably my little mop thing, because I put it in a little bit of a sketchy place. And I was like, this seems okay. Apparently not. Okay, and then we'll start to either keep the leg bent or start to extend. Holding for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Open the leg out towards the right, maybe gaze towards the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Back to center. Take an inhale here, and then let go of the legs. Start to hover. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lower down. Switching sides. Start to bring the left knee in towards the chest, either using the strap, maybe using the wall, or keeping the leg bent. Whatever feels good to you. And then extending, holding for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Open up towards the left. Maybe gaze towards the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Moving back to center. Take an inhale and then hover the leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lower down. Nice work. Starting to bring the blocks on their highest setting. And we can either move the right leg into a half lotus pose by placing that right heel inside the left hip area, maybe finding a bind and folding forward, or we'll move to a figure 4 position with the right ankle over the left thigh. Start to move into a chair, placing the hands on the blocks, and then starting to lengthen that standing leg, folding forward. Holding for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Start to move back into a chair. Bring the hands to the heart and stand tall, and then switch sides. Left ankle starts to come on top of the right thigh. Moving into a chair, placing the hands on blocks, and then starting to lengthen the standing leg, folding forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Start to move to chair. Hands to the heart, and stand tall and release. And then we'll move to chair holding for 5 breaths. Maybe looking towards the hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step back to plank. Option to take a vinyasa. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. And once we get to down dog, stepping through to warrior 1 on the right foot. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, stay here, and then hold for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Start to stand, pivot on the heels, and then moving into warrior 1 on the left side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Pivoting, opening up to warrior 2, gazing over the left fingertips. Left knee is bent. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Start to lengthen, pivot on the heels. Right knee starts to bend, gazing over the right fingertips. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hands to the earth. Step back to plank. Option to vinyasa. And then once we get to down dog, we'll start to move through to a seat by bringing the right shin down first, and then the left shin over top of the right, moving to a seat. We did it, we're here. Yay, we made it to seated. Woo-hoo. And then we'll extend the legs out long, moving into Dandasana. Hands press into the earth, really lengthen the spine, bring the low abdomen up towards the diaphragm, chin in towards the chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Release. Take an inhale, lengthen in the spine. Exhale, start to fold forward. Reach for the big toes with the 2 peace fingers, and elbows bend out to the sides. It's okay to bend the knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, halfway lift. Grab hold of the outside edges of the feet with the fingers. Press into the big toe mounds with the thumbs. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, elbows bend out to the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, lift. Option to keep the legs straight, really pressing into the soles of the feet, lifting with the pelvis, or we will bend the knees, pressing into the soles of the feet, lift up and look back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lower down, cross the leg, cycle through. And a cycle through is any kind of movement in between poses. So you can do a lift up, you can just cross the legs, move back to plank, and then move to downward dog, or you can do chaturanga dandasana, upward facing dog, downward facing dog, and then we'll start to hop through to a seat. And then left leg starts to extend, and we'll take the outside edge of the right foot, Place that on the block. Take an inhale, lengthen in your spine, and exhale, start to fold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, sit tall. And then we'll take a lift up between sides. And then right leg extends, block on the outside of the right foot, outside edge of the left foot on the block. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, start to fold forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, lift up, and cycle through. Ba-ba-da-da. And moving back to a seat. Sitting up on the block. Left leg extends, top of the right foot on the mat. And try to bring the knees together. And then make sure that this left leg is bending since we're seated on a block. Option to remove the block as well if that feels better. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, start to fold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, lift up, and we'll just switch sides since we're on the block. Right leg extends, keep a bend in that right leg. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, start to fold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, lift up, remove the block, and cycle through. And then moving to a seat. Left leg extends, right sole of the foot on the inside of the left leg. Interlace the fingers behind the head, lengthen the spine, inhale. Exhale, start to twist towards the right, dropping the left elbow on the inside of the left leg, reaching towards the left toes for a side stretch. 1. Kevin, you okay with adjustments today? Yep. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, lift up, face the heart towards the foot, and then exhale, fold forward over the left leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Start to come up and take a lift up between sides. And then right leg extends, left sole of the foot on the inside of the right leg. Interlace the fingers behind the head. Take an inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, start to twist towards the left. Right elbow drops to the inside of the right leg and reach towards the right foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Start to come up and then face the heart towards the right foot and fold forward over the right leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, lift up, and cycle through. Ba-ba-da-da. How we feeling?
Pretty good. How are you?
Do you want me to turn the fan on higher?
No, it's all good.
I'm feeling good. About ready for John to tell me that he's going to kill me. Not today.
Not with people present.
He's like, I'll save that for another time.
Now with witnesses. You guys have to leave, right?
then left leg extends. We'll start to sit on the right heel. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and then exhale, start to fold forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, lift up, and take a lift up between sides. And then we'll start to lift and sit on the left heel, right leg extends. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, start to come up, cross the legs, cycle through. Da-ba-da-da. A couple different options. Maybe we drop onto the knees, keep the toes tucked and sit on the heels, or we start to sit up on a block. Left leg extends, and then we try to get the right toes on the mat, the right heel into this left leg. There you go. And then we're going to start folding forward. 1, you can also do this. 2, 3, 4, 5. Start to, if you're not doing the one that I was just doing, we'll switch sides. Right leg extends, and then we'll press the ball of the left foot into the mat. Some of us. John says. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Start to come up. Nice job, everyone. Everyone's trying it. Cycle through. Ba-ba-da-da. John's like, this is the one and only time I'm coming to this class. And then start to step through. And then we'll arrive at a seat. Left leg starts to extend. Right sole of the foot on the mat. It'll make it easier if you have a little bit of space here. Bring that right foot about 6 inches away from the left leg. Take an inhale, lengthen the spine. Left hand on the left side of the mat. Right arm reaches up. And then exhale, start to fold forward, reaching towards the left toes. And then wrap the right arm around the right shin. And then reach towards that right hand with the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, start to come up and take a lift up between sides. And then right leg extends, left sole of the foot on the mat about 6 inches away from the right leg. Right arm reaches towards the right side of the mat. Left fingers reach up towards the sun. And then fold forward on an exhale. Reach the left arm around the left shin. And then maybe reach the right hand towards the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, start to come up. Cross the legs, cycle through. Ba-ba-da-da. Then we'll move back through to a seat. And then for the next one, we can start to bring the left leg under the right sole of the foot on the mat, folding forward, wrapping our arms around, or we can come into a figure 4 with our left ankle over the right thigh. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Start to release. Take a lift up between sides. And then the right leg either moves underneath the left, folding forward, finding the same bind, or right ankle over the left. Hey now.
I mean,
We're supposed to be in half lotus.
achievable for
1,
my time and
2, and this is perfect.
Yeah.
3,
Got it.
4, and 5. Start to release, cross the legs, cycle through. Ba-ba-da-da. And then moving through to a seat. Left leg extends, right sole of the foot on the mat. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, start to twist towards the right. Maybe the left elbow comes to the outside of that right leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Start to release. Take a lift up. And then right leg extends, left sole of the foot on the mat. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, start to twist towards the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And cycle through. Ba-ba-da-da. And then cross through to a seat. I'm excited to hear which one is the sensible one in this one.
So both options suck, guys. FYI, what that means.
John says, let me translate for you.
Not enough modifications for this.
Left leg either comes underneath the right. Inhale, lengthen the spine, start to twist. Or we move into that figure 4. And then bring the left foot into the left armpit. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Start to release and take a lift up. And then right leg either under the left, twist towards the left, or right ankle over the left thigh. Start to twist. Right foot into the upper arm of the right arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Start to release and cycle through. Ba-ba-da-da. And then we shall move into Navasana.
Is that like your
Boat pose.
Your sound that you make when you level up in a video game?
I like that one. No, it's just something that my teacher did. And so
Yeah.
now it's always stuck in my head whenever I do
That's so
chaturangas.
I love that. I love that your teacher used to do it. That's so sweet.
Yeah, she still does it every
Yeah.
time I'm in her class. It's ba-ba-da-da. And so now I just like have that singing in my head. And then moving into Navasana, maybe placing blocks on either side. So when we lift up, we have some height. Couple different options. We can interlace the fingers behind the head, pressing into the heels, really engaging the low abdomen up towards the diaphragm. Or we can lift into a low boat or extend the legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Cross the legs, lift up, and then move back into boat. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Cross the legs, lift up. Back into boat. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Cross the legs, lift up. 2 more. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Cross the legs, lift up. And last time.
What kind of
1,
boat are you building over there?
2, a boat of steel.
There it is.
4 and 5. Cross the legs, lift up, and cycle through. Pa-pa-ta-da.
There it is.
Maybe, do we want to try Bhuja Padasana?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll rise to the tops of the toes, bend the knees, and then hop the feet to the outsides of the hands, and then start to bend the knees. John's like, what are you doing? And then bring the hands behind you, making a little shelf with your arms. And then start to sit on that little shelf. And then heel toe the feet together. And then maybe bring the forehead down to the mat. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're doing it, John. And 5. Start to lift up. And then bring the legs around. Maybe hop it back.
Can't do that yet. I'm trying.
Me either. And then step back. Not in that one. I can in the other one, but not that one. And then we'll move into our quad stretch. Bring the right foot between the hands. Left hand on a block. Start to bend the left knee. Catch the left ankle with the right hand. And we'll hold for 8 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Start to release. Move into downward dog. And then left foot steps through the hands, moving into a quad stretch on the other leg. Starting to bend the right knee, grabbing hold of the ankle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Start to release. Move into downward facing dog. And then we'll hop through to a seat. Do you want to try back bends, Katie, or do you want to do bridge? Okay. Okay. And then we'll take our block. Soles of the feet on the mat, placing the block in between the legs. Really focusing on squeezing the block, trying not to lift with the low back, seeing if you can relax the glutes when you lift. Really pressing into the soles of the feet, using the quads. Start to lift the pelvis, squeeze the block. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lower down. Really squeeze the block, lift back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lower down. Lift up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lower down. 2 more times. Lift up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lower down. Last time. Lift up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lower down. Start to bring the knees in towards the chest. Remove the block. Rock side to side. And then start to rock up to a seat. And we'll lay over a block either on the highest setting or the second highest setting. Really important to keep the block in between the shoulder blades. Interlace the fingers behind the head, inhale, and then exhale, start to relax over the block. And we'll hold here for 8 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Start to bring the chin in towards the chest. Place the hands on the mat. Lift up. And then we'll just lay down back onto the earth. Option to move into a shoulder stand or legs up the wall. If we do legs up the wall, we'll place a block underneath our seat. Legs extend. Or shoulder stand. Holding for 1. If you're in legs up the wall, ignore all of my cues until I say come down. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Shoulder stand, move into plow, bring the legs above the head, tops of the feet on the mat, point the toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bend the knees towards the ears. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we'll all slowly start to lower down, removing the block if we were in legs up the wall. And then crossing the legs, propping up on the elbows. And then top of the head reaches towards the earth. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Start to slowly come up, crossing the legs, and cycle through Papatada. And then those of us that are not going to be doing headstand, we'll move down to Dolphin. And we're going to press back into Dolphin. And then when I'm saying shift forward, holding for 5, we're shifting the head over the hands, holding for 5 breaths. But don't do that quite yet. Okay. And Katie, you want to try headstand yet? Okay. So with this, what I like to do before we do headstand is we have to make sure that we have a really strong core when we're going up into headstand, or else sometimes we can start to collapse in the spine. So in order to kind of, 1, get us used to that, and 2, build the confidence up to go into headstand, I like to use this inversion bench. So you place the head here. Did we do this before? Okay. And then to check the core, we're going to go down and then work our way up. And then hold here for 5. And then do it again, down, and then come back up. Hold here for 5, down, and come back up. Hold here for 5. Okay, and then dolphins. We're going to do that same thing, except for we're pushing back to dolphin, hovering, holding for 5, pushing back to dolphin, hovering, holding for 5. And one more time. Okay, are we ready? Nice. And we'll start to lift. 1, 2, 3, engage the core. 4, and 5, start to lower down. Push back to dolphin and then hover again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lower down and hover, push back to dolphin, And then move back into hovering above the hands or back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Everyone start to come down. And then we'll move into our child's pose, narrow-legged child's pose. Hands reach towards the feet, and then forehead down to the mat or onto a block. Really focusing on trying to get the glutes to the heels. And we'll hold here for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Start to place the hands on the mat. And then we'll do our last cycle through. Moving back to down dog. And stepping through to a seat. And then bringing a block to the front of the mat. Maybe grabbing hold of opposite elbows. Take an inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, start to fold forward, bring the forehead down to the block. And take 5 breaths here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Start to come up. Switch the cross of the legs. Maybe switch the hold of the elbows. Lengthen the spine and fold forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Start to come up. And then bring the pointer finger and thumb tips together, back to the hands on the knees. Gently close the eyes, start to even out the breath for 5 breaths. And then before we move into our Shavasana, we'll extend the legs. And then fold over the legs because I forgot this after bridge pose. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Start to come up. And now we'll move into Shavasana, head facing towards me, feet facing towards the back wall. And I'll come around, press the shoulders down, give a gentle massage with essential oil. If you don't want that, place a block by your right foot. If you do want that, make sure a block is not by your right foot. Good job today, everyone. And when you feel ready, starting to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Maybe bringing your knees in towards your chest and rolling to one side. But we'll all meet in a seated position at the top of the mat. And bringing the hands to the heart, we'll take an Om and 3 Shantis together. Deep breath in. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bowing down to your heart, thanking yourself for your practice today, and reminding yourself, I love myself. Sealing out our Ashtanga practice by bringing the thumb knuckles to the third eye. May we see that the same light that shines in us shines in all beings, and may we not fear our own darkness. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for the class.